Hi there, this video is full of random stuff that's not going to help Photoshop, but I think you need to know. If you're going to be advanced, you need to know how to make things like your color theme turn into toast, how to make random bananas appear, how to change the background color to pink, and this one actually might be that useful. We can change what appears down the bottom here to be something more useful, probably more than how many layers you have, but probably not much more. This is Advanced Person's Rite of Passage video. Let's go. First up, let's look at a kind of strange, kind of useful thing in Photoshop. So let's open up any image basically. I'm just going to use the image 4 from our O3 folder from the photographer Alexander Andrews. Just want something open. Why? Because this start screen's kind of doesn't have a lot of the parts. If you don't like this start screen, you can go to Window and go to Workspace. Instead of being on Start, just be on Essentials. Okay, and you go back to kind of how Photoshop used to be in the good old days. Regardless, let's have our file open. And we're going to look down the bottom here. Okay, by default, this little setting here that you've probably never clicked on, you've probably seen the file size maybe down here. But there's a few little things you can change it to that might be helpful for you. Say you are really hardcore on your profiles, your color profiles, sRGB. Okay, you just want to always look down there and go, phew, it's sRGB. Or CMYK or whatever you're using. Okay, other useful ones, document dimensions is kind of cool. Okay, it shows you that it's 2000 by 2000 and it's 72 ppi. Another little thing is, it doesn't really matter which one of these you've got selected, any one. If you click on it and click and hold it, it tells you the kind of basics. So width, height, how many channels it has. You can see it's 8 bits per channel. That's what the ABPC means. We'll talk about bits later on. You can also see the resolution. So that might just be easier than going here and then going to image size. Let's have a look at a couple of other ones. So measurement scale, good if you're dealing with doing kind of retina stuff. Scratch sizes. Efficiency is a weird one. Like efficiency is at 100%. It means that Photoshop is running as good as it can, given it the resources you've given it. What I mean by that is, remember we had in here preferences, we went to performance and we said, here you go, have this much RAM. We'll have this much RAM. Okay, we've given it this much RAM. What you can do is you can see down here how efficient, how well it's working. If I try and stress it out, how am I going to stress it out? Let's try and do something like this, hit enter. Let's get it to change. It's working fine. If you find it drops below 100% for a lot of the time, it's trying hard, but it can't work as fast as it could. So that just might be useful. You might like, man, is my machine slow? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. This will tell you whether it's just Photoshop going through its motions or whether your machine's holding it up. And you can go back to kind of like the speeding up Photoshop video if you need to kind of upgrade things. Can't really change it that much, but hey, you might find it useful. Timing, I still haven't worked out what that actually does. I think it's for the task that you've given it. Okay, it took 0.2 seconds. Current tool's not that handy, or on the move tool. 32-bit exposure, we'll look at that when we do 8, 16, 32-bit later on. The save progress, how many smart objects you have, how many layers you have. For me, often it's document size, which is what it started out with. So that's why it's in this kind of random video. But this is the advanced course, right? We need to learn advanced stuff. Now let's get on to the Easter eggs. So what is an Easter egg? Basically, it's just a bit of code that the developers of Photoshop, okay, the guys at Adobe who kind of sneak things in to see if they can sneak things in. Like little surprises, like Easter eggs. Now in this version of Photoshop, there's a couple. There's a banana and some toast. They do absolutely nothing except what I find them useful for is changing these things on people's computers that are away for holidays. When they get back, I've messed about. Best one and most obvious one is, see this little 3 dot here, the edit toolbar? Hold it down, click on edit toolbar. And if you just hold down the shift key, okay, either Mac or PC and just click done, okay, you can see what changed over here. There's a banana. Does nothing except it's kind of funny. And it never turns off either. Well, you can turn it off. So if you decide that that's not a good idea, click and hold it down, go back into here. And if you hold down the command key on a Mac and click done, or control key on a PC to turn it off. I'm gonna turn my back on. I love having that on. Hold shift, click done. The other one is toast. This one's a little bit more hidden and it's just fun to know. Like if there's a Photoshop party and you're there and you don't know about the toast, you're gonna be asked to leave. So on a Mac, go up to Photoshop, go to preferences. Now remember on a PC, it's under edit and way down the bottom here for preferences. And I wanna be in the one that says interface. And it's just this thing along the top here. Normally, its job is to kind of change the interface color. And you might like this just just because. The good old days of Photoshop used to be this light white color. Now it's in this kind of moody, broody dark color. Now the trick here is to hold down Shift and hold down on a Mac, hold down the Option key and click on this. It kind of fires it into like toast mode. If you're on a PC, it's Shift and hold down the Alt key and give it a click. Now that it's toast, it does the same job, just toast. But you can also do, once you're here, so do that first step first, which is Shift and either Alt or Option and give it a click. Now you can hold down Shift and hold Command down on a Mac or Shift and Control down on PC, and you can toggle between coffee colors and toast colors. If you go to a Photoshop conference, okay, you'll see these little guys on t-shirts and stuff. It's like you're in the know, wink, wink, secret handshake. Does absolutely nothing, but you need to know the Easter eggs. One other little thing I'll throw in here is this background, because we were looking at interface colors, it kind of just got me thinking, this dark gray in the background's fine. You might not like it. You can right click it and say, I want it to be black. You saw the interface change the old background, but not this kind of like pasteboard area. So right click it and dark gray is the normal, but you can go through and pick. The other thing you might do when your friends are away or your buddy at school's away is go to select custom color and just put it as something awful. And there you go. They won't know how to change it back. They got bananas, they've got a pink background, which is hurting my eyes. So I'm gonna go back to dark gray. All right, so that is the weird features and Easter eggs video. Let's get into the next section now where we start fixing images. No more settings and workflow techniques. We've got all those out of our system. We are now ready to be super efficient and learn more advanced things. Let's do it.